People sometimes confuse trance experience of psychedelics or dancing or whatever with awareness, right? Awareness is actually the opposite of trance. Awareness is complete awakening, complete sense of being, complete. Where if I turn my mind to anything, I can sense it. My heart beating, my stomach digesting, you hurting, whatever. I can turn my mind to anything in that awareness and I am fully awake. You get a sense in this practice that that is what is happening to you, that you're becoming empathic in that way, right? In fact, much more so, and it gets even very subtle for you now, where you can feel somebody's pain without them having to say a word. You know what is happening to them. Now, to an ordinary person, that appears like voodoo or foresight or psychic powers. It's not. It's subtle awareness. It just shows you that think about the human potential for awareness, if that is just the beginning of it, right? That means I can take my consciousness to a level where I can go into a cell and heal it, where I can go into a task I'm doing and see it from every angle, right? Where I can travel around the world and try and bring healing or peace. These are not psychic phenomena. They are subtle abilities of a conscious being. And we don't know what the limit to that is, right? If there is a limit, can I become the mind behind everything? So when we build all these new technologies, we're trying to do that, right? We want to expand human consciousness. We want to get beyond our little puny selves. We want to become something amazing in the world. And after a while, it's not about being amazing anymore for others to see. It's about you. It's your own consciousness that you're now exploring. That's why when you become a consciousness seeker, it's almost practically impossible to become depressed. Because the next consciousness exploration is just around the corner. And you're going, what's this? What you thought was depression was a gateway. Oh, look, it's a gateway into something else. And we who do this kind of, so at the one end of the spectrum, you're the earth being, right? You're the elephant. You're the animal. You're nature. And at the other end of the being, there, I just said it. What can you say? Just awareness. Even that's a word. And one of the ironies of that immense emptiness that comes is immense power. Power to heal, power to transmit, power to share, power to speak. It just comes. So Kundalini Yoga, from a tantric point of view, is the right hand path, right? Which today you could call Hatha Yoga or Kundalini Yoga or those kind of practices, right? We also use it in Kriya Yoga, yeah? Where to do with taking the powerful sexual energy at the base of your spine and activating it with yoga to go up the spine step by step by step until willpower came to the third eye, and then boom, if you were lucky, grace would come in. You'd wake up and you'd explode into Shiva Shakti or Shivoham, Shivoham, boom. That called the right hand path. The other path, which is the path of today, things like Sri Vidya, right? Or the Mother and Sri Aurobindo, but the path of surrender, right? But also disrupting everything you believed in. So the early Vamacharya tantrics were always on the fringe of society, cremation ground, sexual orgies, eating meat, all the things that were no in India, having debauch parties, Today they would be quite normal, but back then it was abnormal, right? It was back abnormal. And that became known as the left hand path. Because the left hand path was basically which foot of Kali is forward, the right path or the left one? Which one? Right. So the right one was the more yogic path, which was masculine, monastic, sperm converting into tejas, into ojas, right? Into those things, right? So you will hear concepts like sexual yoga, no, retention of sperm, holding the energy back, pulling it up and shooting it up the spine, right? So if you ever talk to a yogi about Kundalini, they'll say, no, it's not for you because you have to be brahmachari, you have to hold it in and only then will it happen for you, right? The Vamachari says, fuck you, right? It's for anybody, anytime, right? You can do it while making love. You can do it while eating your food. You can do it while chanting mantra. You can do it while bhakti. You can do it anytime. Right? That's why I always say that, God must have a wonderful sense of humor to make a sinner like me have a Kundalini awakening. Fuck. And to allow me to do all this, right? But think about it, right? Who defines what's sin? Who defines what's wrong and right? Who defines who to punish and who's going to go to heaven or who's going to go to hell? Who the fuck defines that, right? Nobody. Ego, human beings, right? In fact, who defines God? Human beings, right? When we do this work, we're not limited to any one God, any God. We don't even need a God. We can have a godless universe and still be awake. Look at the Buddhists. No God. Awake. And most of the great mystical traditions were kind of godless, right? Gnosticism, Hermeticism, they had in-between beings that were of highest consciousness, but God was a non-participatory architect of the universe, right? The geomancer, right? The great architect of the universe. In Kashmir Shaivism, Sada Shiva, that means Shiva dead, lying there, right? Non-participatory, no judgment, just meditating. The ultimate image of Shiva is just meditating, right? And then no form. That is the ultimate, formless. Akasha Linga, it's called. So in India, if you go, you will see different types of lingas and different lingas. The very crude linga is a penis. And the very esoteric linga is an empty room. Isn't that a wonderful dichotomy of consciousness from penis to nothing? All same principle. And the way Kundalini is activated by mantra, right? For this kind of path. It is Shakti Bija mantra, right? And then weaving what we call malas together to activate certain beautiful energy states within the body, right? So when you're doing a mantra, you're weaving a garland of datura flowers or lotuses to make magic happen. This is the principle of mantra.